Hello, Speed Gaming. Welcome to the very first AM2R randomizer weekly race featuring Randovania. We've got myself and Jeff Games and Games and Jay La Competencia on comms. Say hi, Jay.
Hello! Hello! This
Excellent.
is going to be a good one.
Yes, for sure. And we've got our two racers just about ready up, Gala and Glitzy. Going to be our very first runners, so get some hype in the chat for them. And so a little bit about what we're doing here. The AM2R implementation of Randovania has been out for a little while, and as it's reached stable, we've decided to host some weekly races. So every Saturday, we'll be hosting races here. Today we've got our standard preset that we've set up. That's going to be starting in the main caves by the first alpha. And we've got 10 DNA. DNA are going to be our keys to get into labs. So we're going to have to find those. Those will be on Metroids. And some beginner tricks. And yeah, it should be pretty good. Very beginner friendly. And it looks like our racers are off.
Yes, so we will follow shortly in the restream.
Anything I missed, Jay, with those settings?
No, not as far as I remember. This is going to be interesting to see, because I don't know Gala all too much, but I know that Glitzy is a very talented player.
Yes, indeed. So there we go. There's our start.
Yeah, and the beginning is probably going to be very, very, very similar to between both players, because we have basically only A1 and the first Metroid opened up to us.
Yes, one thing about the settings, we do start with Charge Beam. That's a bonus to our vanilla items. It's just a nice quality of life. So that is one of the settings we're playing around with. Also, you'll see in the bottom right, chat asking about the DNA. So bottom right is our DNA and our trackers. Right now it shows 36. You need 46 to access the end, but since we only need 10, we technically start with 36, and that's why the number looks like that. But there's our first one, so you can see it's 37 now. You might also be wondering about the launcher icons in the bottom left. Those are Randovania implementation launchers, so you'll need those main launchers to actually use the items. So on the left, we've got missiles, which we started with. We'll need to find our super launcher and our power bomb launcher before we are able to use any expansions we find. After that quick trip to the first alpha, it looks like both of our players are likely heading to Golden Temple. Lots of free items in there.
Yeah. There's... I've seen a big variety of early game items, to be honest, by now. So I'm interested in seeing how this is, gonna play out. Also, especially interested because I've been the one to gen this monstrosity of a seed. I've been known for genning seeds that only my mother could love, so I'd be very interested to see how it works. Gala checking the bomb chamber. Spider! Let's go.
Interesting. So Spider Ball, that is honestly something that opens up a lot, but you don't really want to find it early because it's so slow to use, especially for upper A1 checks. It'd be quite annoying.
Yeah.
And we find Screw Attack in the 3-orb hallway, so that is a lot more of the game.
That's 2 items that you don't want to find early.
As great as it is for routing options, it opens up so much that you can easily get lost in where the game's telling you to go.
All missiles now. So are we going to take it immediately into Transport Hub? That's the interesting question.
looks like Glitzy is opting to grab those supers. Definitely a good call. It's a pretty quick check, and you're going to want all the supers you can possibly have. It'll speed up that queen fight, as well as all the Metroids that we've got to fight later on.
Yeah, I very much agree.
So yeah, you can see on Glitzy's tracker, they've got 2 super missiles, but the launcher is not lit up, signifying they can't use it. Also on their game UI, there's a big red X.
Gala going for the Golden Temple Alpha. The question is, if we do this Alpha, we might as well get the upper spider ball check, right? We just spider ball check the ceiling?
Yes, I would agree. Right now is really the best time to do it. The only time you'll be coming back here now is if you get space jump or speed booster. So there's this could be left for a long time, and it's perfectly in logic right now. So I would say do it now.
And we make our way towards the tower, on like Glitzy style.
Yeah, probably taking this to A2, I'd imagine. You get 2 free checks on the way there, so not a bad choice.
Yes, the launcher is a hard requirement.
Yes,
we
and
need the
that
launchers
is
to shoot anything.
Yeah, I was going to say that is a randomizer setting. So you can choose to turn it off, but it's usually more interesting application-wise to have them on. So our weekly settings do have launchers required. Glitzy getting a speed booster upgrade, which won't let us use speed booster, but will shorten the time it takes to charge just a little bit. Looks like Gal is likely making a very similar play.
So, Gala just found a speed booster upgrade.
I just mentioned that.
I mean, we found another one on Gala's side.
Oh, is it a different one than the lower alpha? The lower Hydro Station alpha?
Yeah, Gala found 2 of them.
Gotcha.
I was thinking.
And looks like Gal is heading into Breeding Grounds 2. So one thing that is new to match with the DNA implementation are hints. There are several Wisdom Septogs spread throughout the map. They're marked with a big H on the map, and they will hint a random number of DNA that will give our players a little bit of guidance. So it can be good to get those pretty early so you can kind of make some routing decisions, know what requirements are going to pop up. Oh yeah, so some other things new to the Randovania implementation, progressive suits and progressive jumps. That'll allow us, that means we have to get, the first pickup is always going to be high jump, and then the next will always be space jump, just because some things will obsolete the others, so progressives help balance it out. Same with suits, Varia, and then gravity.
Yes. Which is the most optimal outcome in the end. Because not having Varia is basically just saying no to 50% damage reduction. And not having high jump makes space jumping in a lot of areas very, very painful. But it's interesting to see that both players actually opt for Breeding Grounds 2 here.
Yeah, while it's currently out of logic for Gala's setup, Glitzy did find the first progressive jump, meaning that Breeding Grounds 2 could be in logic. We do need a little bit of health generally to fight these Metroids, but Glitzy is a fan of not getting hit, so we'll likely not opt for that.
We're already fighting DNA over DNA, and it's hilarious how you have a lot of early game DNA right now. So, one thing I don't know if you already mentioned that, but one thing we have in the RDV implementation is we have hints.
Yes, I did mention that one.
Okay. Sorry, I had to take care of something.
No worries. It's also so much explaining going on, as this is the first time a lot of people are seeing this, so we're likely going to repeat some things, or have to repeat some things when new folks come in, so.
I'm just... Oh wait, Blitzy already got high jump?
Yes, yeah, that was
Where was
in,
high jump?
that was,
Was it on the beta?
It was...
On the beta, on the gamma?
No, it was, A2 exterior, somewhere. Hydro Station exterior.
Yeah, Glitzy is a bit low on life, or was.
Yeah, which is why these Metroids generally require a little bit of health on these settings, but, you know, can do things out of logic to help your routing. And one other thing that we saw right off the bat that we didn't touch on was that warp to start and warp to last save are options. These allow the player to quickly revert their progress back to last save or their start. So the last time they saved, anything they've collected will be kept, but say if you picked up a missile tank and then warp to start, you would lose that missile tank. Oh yeah, chat also mentioning that there's a guaranteed ice beam hint at the start of labs. That is correct. It'll give us our hint, our area and room name, so it's a precise hint. And that is Speed Booster in Speed Booster in the entrance alpha. Very cool.
Ooh, spooky was required. Sam's gonna like this.
Yeah, so now with Speed Booster, and like it's very cool to see that Gala's making a lot of the same plays, and so we haven't seen a lot of routing diversions, and both players are pretty close to each other. But since they'll both be picking up Speed Booster, we'll be able to see a lot of high quality movement coming up now.
Yeah. Glitzy's already taken this into Breeding Grounds 3.
And that is a bolt. No, I think just charging the spark to go faster here, maybe.
No, with
yeah, yeah. So
okay.
you spark across here, and this gets you right in.
Nice mock ball there, though.
The
probably not the last one we're going to see. And there's bombs, of course. Okay, so now we probably have pretty much open world. We have a lot of stuff we can actually access. Yeah,
this is bombs. Any of our bombs is really great early on because A2 has a lot of checks and they're all a lot of them are bomb blocked. So we might see our racers head back there soon enough.
Doesn't look like we're interested in fighting Chorizo though.
Oh, and that's interesting because Industrial Complex is locked by bombs. We either have to use Screw Attack to go in through the pipes or do this Shine Sparking trick. So Glitzy actually going at taking a bit of a lead with this getting that trick first try.
Given how early we got Speed Booster though, that lead is not ultra big and can clearly be caught up.
Yeah.
Ooh, Gala is opting for the research side. Interesting.
Yep, we'll get another hint out of this.
Outcast. And we have required mines.
Yep, so
clearly I have jammed this seed.
If you weren't able to see that hint in time, the one of the mines Metroids is required, so we will need supers to get down there.
Now prepare for trouble and make a double.
Do as a nice nice check to get out of the way. Pretty low requirements, and it's 2 checks side by side. So
And
there's
it was
another DNA.
required. I like the divergence in routing so far.
Yeah, the main thing that blocked Gala from getting those bombs in A3 is just that shine spark. And if they want to not do that trick, they're going to have to go through the pipes and go in through A3 that way, all the way back to the entrance, which is kind of out of the way, so it might get put off for some time.
Also, Glitzy's going for lower factory already. Are we going to check Vanilla Supers?
That would definitely be a choice. There are some items down here that are blocked by supers that we will have to come back for if they don't find supers immediately. But I don't think it's a bad option to go for this now, especially with Speed Booster coming in. Okay, Gala making an interesting choice, going into labs and going to pick up that hint.
It's a valid thing to go for hints first. Hints can be really powerful in this game. Although Glitzy already has Ice Beam, by the way.
Oh, yep.
I
Extra complex. Yep.
actually
So,
did not notice it.
yeah, that's in that lower factory hub area, the speed boosting puzzle. So, nice to have. Coming down here is required then.
So we are going down here for the Vanilla Supers. Interesting.
Everyone's favorite little robot, Skippy.
Oh, ooh, that's a nice tech. Gala is still full clearing A2 right now.
Yeah. Unfortunately, no bombs, so we'll just be visually checking this, but does find Spazer in the lower A2 section, the basement.
Question is if we wanna come back later to get it.
Okay, so you might be looking at the item in the Vanilla Supers location. That was a super missile drop. Because we're playing with only 10 DNA required, there's a lot of nothing items. There's a big amount of items to fill in the pool. So in order for there to not be, about 30 or so nothing items, some of them are been replaced with drops. These are just one-time pickups that'll refill your ammo. A little bit of a convenience thing if they're in the right locations, but otherwise you'll see the racers skipping them most of the time.
Yeah. Litzy probably also wants to keep that Ice Beam, so we will have to traverse out of A2 again. A3. Got my mind.
Some nice zips to get across the lava.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine from Glitzy's side this is going to be a warp to start and likely go through down through main caves. There's a lot of bomb checks there that we can do now. Meanwhile,
Yep.
Gala's getting another hint. Main cave's research site, already got that, so kind of a dead hint, unfortunately for Gala.
Thanks, game.
There's Spring Ball. And the destroyed shaft.
Another nice to have convenience item. Oh, right, we are just now. And bye, Guardian.
See you later.
Oh, we're going for Breeding Grounds 1. Probably also want to grab the hint there.
Yes.
Up so far, no joke hints. That's good.
Surface Alpha, Tower Inner Zeta, the Depths Hideout Alpha Nest. Okay. I am not typing these in, but hopefully someone in chat may be writing this down, or we just remember them. But
Oh, we're fighting Alpha Squad. Let's go. I gent the seat, so this better be required.
Powerbomb Launcher.
Oh, Powerbomb Launcher. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So that is Gala's first bombs, which will help them start moving around now. That's an excellent find.
I think we can still call this required for that. Zetas are most likely always going to be required. The Omegas are our lucky guess.
That's good. Another powerbomb tank for Gala. It can be quite rough when you get powerbomb launchers, your first bombs, but you don't have any ammo for it, and you're stuck trying to manage 2 powerbombs.
Yeah, 2 powerbombs is rough. Well, the good thing is that if you don't have, as long as you don't have bombs, enemies will drop you PP drops. Up so far, only super missile expansions.
Yeah, so with these settings, a key thing to think about is that Zetas and Omegas are going to logically require super missiles. So we know super launcher is not going to be there.
Yeah.
That being said, our players might decide to route them in anyways if it's convenient.
Oh, Varia and Guardian storage, yeah.
It's our first suit, nice to have. 50% damage reduction, pretty much doubling our health. It also gives us 1 step closer to gravity, which may or may not be required, depending on if we get any required items in lower distribution center.
Why can I smell the required Ceres? Oh, are we going for... Yeah, we're going for my favorite boss in the game. Let's go. Okay, chat, say hello to Arachnos. Nice ladder bombs.
Done.
Come on, be required. Oh.
And energy tank.
Well, we can't have all the good spots settled.
I'm trying to think if I was Glitzy, where would I go? Definitely cleaning up lower A2 right now. And then after that...
Honestly, I'd like to see a 4 here. have some checks in A4 that can still potentially have a good value to us, given that we have bombs.
Yeah, I'd also say that if Glitzy decides to go to Alpha Squad now, that would get them power bombs, and then that would definitely point me to A4, and you can climb the shaft in main cave, because there's a few items that we skipped, like Fat Croc Mire Room, that have speed booster requirements, and we've had speed for a long time, so might be good to go back and check those.
Yeah, I agree.
Gala trying to pull off the sweet buffered inputs jump for that climb. That's very good. And yeah, Meep, you bring up a good point. Gala with power bombs can go to Thoth. There's three checks there. Genesis a bit slow, but we have seen some requirements there in some of our test seeds.
And we have PBs at least.
Yes, PBs makes that fight a lot nicer.
Also, Gala might want to go for A3 soon, given that we haven't seen Industrial too much, and we know that Ice Beam is there. Both runners nearly high-fiving here, though.
Yeah, both runners keeping up, just slightly different loadouts. The real advantage that Glitzy has right now is just that Ice Beam, which thankfully Gala's got the hint. It's not too hard, and we've got the warp to start right there, so even if it is put off, it's not too bad.
I think Glitzy has quite big of an advantage here, given that we have A4, or like a lot of A4. Why am I so obsessed with A4 today? A lot of A3 is already clear. With visual checks with visual peaks on most checks in industrial side. So yeah, as I expected, we'd get some. Now I can say A4 checks in here.
Yeah, heading to the top of tower is gonna net us a few more checks as well, so. And Gala did not have bombs the first time they went down the shaft, so Glitzy will be revealing another item, but one more is locked behind supers, so we'll have to abandon that for now.
Oh, but the item that we did skip on is Graph.
Yeah, so that's definitely a good find. That's full suitage now.
Yeah. So that would hint me towards distribution center. That's annoying to have down there for Gala.
Yeah, the only thing that would maybe point back or point to going back there is to get supers, because then you could get both checks.
Glitzy's not picking up the hint.
Yeah, probably will go for it after the upper item.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
I would think.
I was about to say. That makes sense, yeah. Just another PB drop.
Yep, good example of the item being in a tank, showing that it's a drop and not an actual expansion.
Ah, that's a shame. Nearly a perfect stun lock.
So I gotta imagine Glitzy's probably gonna go for the inner Zeta now. We know that's a DNA. Going to be a bit of a slog though, because it's gonna be it's 30 missiles, I believe, to kill a Zeta. Thankfully, this is a perfect chance for me to learn how to do these fights optimally. Usually, I do the slow method, slow and safe. Oh, and look at that, Gala is making it back down the shaft, so we'll find that gravity suit. Progressive suit acquired. Very nice. So with power bombs, I think Gal's gonna peek this item, which I assume it's nothing. It's hard
I
to tell
was
with the,
not able to see that.
it's a little bright.
Yeah. A
And
flashbang plus that the restream quality for the feed is not the highest. So sometimes it can be hard to see something. Okay, it's in the missile. Now I saw it.
oh, look at the Shine Sprite conservation. It's very jealous. Oh, and then bonks anyways.
You had to say
Spoke too
something,
soon.
didn't you?
Spoke too soon, yep. Awesome. And Gala cleaning up some of the gammas. These ones will be in logic, as
And it's another DNA. Which is interesting, because Gala is in the DNA advantage here.
yeah, I think one of the ones that Glitzy's still missing is Research Site, so we'll be picking that up very shortly.
Yes, and can also... Well, both players will not check it off, though. Because Glitzy, or like, Gala hasn't checked it yet, and Glitzy still is missing main PBs from Alpha Squad.
Yeah, I'm really interested that Glitzy's put off Alpha Squad for so long. Definitely have the missiles and energy to do that safely, and 5 checks back to back is quite powerful. So we might see that. I imagine it's got to be soon.
Yeah.
Glitzy heading down into Breeding Grounds 3. Lots of Metroids here. A few checks, as well as one of our last hints, I believe. I think we've gotten most of the other ones.
We're missing...
Oh yes, the Omega
bubble
the
layer.
bubble layer, yeah. Yeah, that is a hint that is often neglected. I don't mind routing that one in if you have a really early screw attack and you're going for the Ice Beam hint. you can take a small detour to get that hint and just get the knowledge. I find that can be a pretty safe play, but you are just kind of throwing away 30 seconds if it is a not very valuable hint.
Gala is going to find bombs here soon, and hopefully Ice Beam after. So we'd probably want to get PB soon on Glitzy's side, or Glitzy is giving up the advantage here. And there's Space Jump. Space Jump in Breeding Grounds free, that's nearly all majors. We're still missing 2 beams and Super Missile Launcher.
Yep, and I'm gonna call my classic Plasma is on an Omega. I see it so often that there's no way it's not. We'll see in the spoiler log if no one grabs it.
We don't have a spoiler log.
Or not this, but the credits should.
Yeah, in the credits
yeah.
we will see it.
Oh, and there are Gala's bombs.
I couldn't read the hint on Glitzy's side, it was too pixelated, god damn it. I'm very interested to see if Gala will now take this into Breeding Grounds, but it does look like it. Okay. And now it's time for the players to high five.
Yeah, Breeding Grounds 3 pretty loaded with DNA today.
Yeah,
Only
Glitzy's missing 3 more.
And we know one of them's in the Hideout Alpha. I think there was another one.
No, is it the Hideout Alpha?
Yeah, it was the Hideout Alpha. And
then we still have Mines.
And Mines, and then we're missing.
But Mines hard requires supers.
Yep.
Unless Glitzy goes out of bounds for it. Glitzy probably going for the transport pipes check?
I gotta imagine so. Or did they skip? They skipped a Gamma over here, so safe to pick it up now.
Probably also going for Alpha Squad now on Glitzy's side. No, it does look like it, Meepy. I don't think we're farming for missiles here. There are my 5 favorites. Hello. Though this is probably gonna put Glitzy under pressure, because we are going to feel a bit late on that main PB launcher.
Well, I gotta imagine at this point as well, one of the things that is gonna decide this race is where are those supers?
Yeah.
it's like at this point you're probably starting to think, do my opponents have those?
Well, the
So,
thing is, you can't farm for PBs because your as soon as you get bombs, the enemies will no longer drop PB drops. So yeah, we really just forgot that we got bombs. So yeah, the question is where's Super Missile Launcher and why is it on Ceres?
one thing we haven't brought up is in the bottom right corner of the stream, you'll see the word standard. We are using our standard weekly settings. Currently, we only have standard weekly settings, but as we get having these more regularly and we get some community engagement, we want to have an alternate preset that has things like random starts and some more
rando.
some of the more exotic settings to give the racers a little bit of a refresher from racing the same kind of settings, give the audience something new to look at. So eventually that will be implemented, but for now you will see standard for first couple weeks as we get familiarized with the setup.
Oh, is Glitzy actually going for the visual peak on Ceres?
If
so, I very much like and dual alphas, dual.
There's a lot we can do. Like it could be the it could be any of the speed booster checks. Down here, I think there's like 5 or 6 items it could be. Note from our settings, we have beginner shine sparks, so some of the more complex shine spark puzzles aren't in logic. The main one being the very bottom of A5 distribution center. So there's going to be no reason to check that.
Also, the parkour room in Golden Temple.
Yes, the parkour course. We will not be seeing that. Next week. Okay.
Guess we're fighting Ceres today.
Likely not required, but Glitzy is deciding to pick that up.
I just love that it's major on Ceres.
It looks like Gala is heading into lower industrial complex now, and will pick up that ice beam. Cat jam indeed.
Yeah.
Too bad we won't be seeing the Chorizo fight.
Yeah, I'm sure the Metroid Prime fans in chat would love a good Chorizo. I mean, even the Prime fans enjoy a bit of echoes, especially when it comes to music. Something that is funny though is we've seen a lot of experienced players practice with this presets and have times of 30 minutes, 35 minutes, 40 minutes, and not a single racer out of all of them in the restream or in the race time room has already finished. So truly, this seed must be bad.
Trying to think of where some, like, because we're waiting on all of our racers to finish. It looks, because we have what, 6 people racing today. So that's the 4 more than the folks you see on your stream right now. Supers must be in a pretty bad location. No one's no one's finished yet.
Now we swap the music a bit, because now we have activated A5. So even more cat gem.
Let's say supers. Like I'm waiting for supers to be behind the Omega in hideout, and you're logically expected to go behind it. That'd be a funny place for it to be.
Maybe if I'm correct, the A2 one shouldn't require supers with beginner shine sparking. Because you just need to short charge. And there it is. Found it.
So that could have actually been gotten a lot sooner.
Yes.
Because there's really no requirements for getting through here, considering all the soft lock preventions. So as soon as they got screw attack, they could have got supers, which is really means that someone could be at Queen right now, finishing this off. So likely going to see Glitzy head directly for these last remaining Metroids. Chat asking if they're skipping wave. Yeah, no real logical requirements for wave, so it just saves you doing the fight.
Yeah, the only
faster.
Big logical reasons to pick up beams would be door rando, other than ice beam. They're just nice to have quality of life items, and at this point I can imagine both runners feeling behind.
The damage upgrade is minimal, because for every beam you have, you start to shoot slower, so yeah, Plasma's definitely the big one for the Queen fight. We'll see.
We're getting bubble air.
Yeah, we do know that we got to go down through here to get one of our DNA in hideout. We know that, but I'm imagining this last hint might be good to get. It'd be interesting to know if Plasma's down here as well. Yeah, I can definitely tell from like both their play that both are experienced runners, so I'm sure they could both do it without Plasma. Industrial Complex, we've already got that one. That's one of the Breeding Grounds 3 locations. So Mines, Tower Gamma West. I don't think Glitzy got that one.
No. So it's Mines, Tower, and the Hideout Alpha.
Yeah. Thankfully, the tower one is close to the A2 pipe, so that routes into labs nicely. Oh yes, chat also asking about the pipes not being there. So Randovania adds some pipes to A6, the depths, to help with traversal a bit. There's one from the Crystal Caverns right underneath the waterfall into Bubble Lair, and then Bubble Lair down to Hideout. It just helps skip some of those rooms that are just kind of movement based. Speeds things up a little bit, makes the routing nicer. So. Yep, those are Randovania specific additions.
And Gala also finding main launcher now. I think Gala might be a bit upset about those, given how early we had access to those.
Yeah, I mean both players are probably shaking their heads, thinking that could have been like, what, our 4th or 5th progression item almost, with how early screw attack was. And thankfully, putting off this, I mean, we had to because we just found supers, but having Speed Booster for mines makes this so much faster. You can see some excellent movement on Glitzy's side. We'll likely see it from Gala's side as well. It's not too complex, but just keeping that speed all the way through is it's just so nice to look at.
Yeah. No, Baha. There are a lot of big soft block preventions for the Rando. Which is one of the reasons why I like to say that this Rando is very, very beginner friendly, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, for all the differences in routing, and especially with the changes in our progression, both runners are pretty close together. Just getting these last few DNA before heading into labs. And our first weekly will be concluding shortly.
Which DNA are we missing on Glitzy's side? Because we're going back into A3.
I think this is to take the pipe, go to Pipe Hub, and then head into A4, I believe, is the last one that Glitzy needs.
Oh yeah, Gamma West, right.
Yeah. However, I feel like just heading down through main caves probably would have been faster, but I'll leave the faster decisions to the players that are much better than me at this game.
Oh god. We've lost chat, Jeff.
Yeah.
Chat has succumbed to Baha's jokes.
It's just devolved into madness now. So there we go. That is all 10 of the DNA on Glitzy's side. So that means we can head into the A2 pipe into labs and head towards Queen.
Which is already calling for us, as we can hear. Both runners are actually really, really close to each other here.
So usually in this room that Glizzy just went through, there would be some impassable blocks that require you to get the DNA. Now that we've got it, they're gone. So you can't see it as an example, but trust me, they're there.
No extreme lab Metroids.
Yeah, that'd be bold to turn that on in a race setting.
Today we play the I touch and I die settings.
Chat, yeah, that is indeed the room with the ice hint. The Chozo log, that big green orb, is the ice beam hint.
Oh, that was a beautiful muck ball.
Queen fight is fun. And a pretty good loadout. We are missing plasma though, so we'll need to throw some bombs in to likely conserve our ammo.
That's first phase done.
So on Gala's side, just to keep up on that, heading towards the hideout alpha. So we'll be able to utilize the pipes in case you missed it last time. We'll likely be taking them down and back just because of the speed, and will bring us right back to labs.
Yes. Also, for people that don't know, basically, something interesting to keep in mind is Glitzy has an E-Tank more and the same amount of missiles, so the Queen's damage and health stagger with the amount of E-Tanks and missiles we have. Looks like Glitzy's about to finish this up though.
Just a power bomb and some missiles away from a nice victory over the Mama Metroid.
Nicely done. That is the Queen down.
And now Gala has picked up their last DNA and is right behind. So a very close race from both of our runners.
And there is our beloved baby.
The baby.
The baby. Now we just gotta hope that the baby isn't trolling like right now.
Yes. It's funny that the what's supposed to be the least stressful part of a race can oftentimes be the most stressful as you wait for the baby to cooperate with you. And you're
Yeah.
looking at, you could be looking at race time being like, oh, no one else has finished their they might be right behind me though, and then you're waiting for the baby just circling around, getting stuck on the little crystals. Glitzy breaking the fourth wall in chat as the restream catches up, but we'll wait to say GG's once the actual stream gets there. And time.
And time.
GG's.
GG's. What a show! And how fun for a seed. How much fun this seed could be. Yeah, less than an hour. That is still a very good time. So now where was Plasma? It's the only item we're missing. It's on an Omega.
Of course it is. Called it.
Omega East, let's go. Oh. So yeah, Gala also now looking towards the Queen.
Chat asking if this is the first weekly. Yes, it is. It's the very first Aim to our Randovania weekly. Welcome in.
So also congratulations, Glitzy. You will be going down as the first winner of the Aim to our weeklies.
Oh no, the recording was lost. Can't have Glitzy be number one. Yep. Shame. Just. Glitzy, by the way, if you check Discord, you probably got an invite if you want to join Restream to have a little bit of an interview. Up to you though, it's not required. But you weren't responding to me, so I figured I'd poke you.
Aim to R has been in Randovania for quite some time already. It's just that those weeklies take some time to prepare. And there's a lot of stuff you gotta take into your mind when you plan those out. Which also brings me down to thank you and Meepy for the amount of work you folks put in there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just the database stuff for me. Meepy did a lot of did the patching. Very awesome to see. And it's awesome to see the final product.
GG Abyssal, welcome in. Gala now entering phase 2 of the Queen.
We do have Glitzy coming in the setup, so we'll likely get a little bit of an interview in a short moment.
Yeah.
Let's also make sure to cheer on Gala as they finish off Queen. Gala's fight a little bit closer, just due to the fact that no beams. That is a big difference maker.
Hello, Glitzy. GG.
Yeah. GG's.
Oh, hello. Thank you for the GG's. Oh, that was nerve-wracking.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I was shaking so much.
Yeah, we gotta ask, how did you feel when you found supers, given that was like the big go mode item?
Okay, so originally when I first entered A5 to go kill the Alpha Squad, I thought, hey, I could go Gravity first, but nah, I thought Alpha Squad had more checks. So when I got Super Missiles, it's like a slap in the face for not checking it earlier. I was just like, oh my god.
The routing divergence was really, really fun to see, and I recommend you to definitely watch this race back. But basically what happened was you pushed into A3 for the bombs. So you got bombs and Ice Beam a lot earlier. And Gala tried to go for it, but didn't quite get it. So what ended up happening was Gala went for A6 first and did Alpha Squad early and got main power bomb launcher.
Oh,
but that was after checking. That was after checking the main PB area. So Gala didn't have bombs when going down the tower for the first time, which means Gala never got gravity in the first place, and only got it later.
Oh.
And then you already had A4 covered a lot, and F3. So what happened was you found supers maybe 2 to 3 minutes earlier, but you were already in the DNA advantage.
Oh, I see. Not gonna lie, I've already forgotten where most items are.
I
Yeah,
just love that my favorite spots were required. We had required Alpha Squad, or like logically required. We had a good old Ceres having a wave beam.
Yeah, actually, I didn't really need wave, but yeah, because I had bombs, right, and charge
Yeah.
beam.
Yeah, that makes the queen fight a lot safer.
Yeah,
So yeah, we were curious that you did go for that, but yeah, just having those extra beams does help. But plasma, of course, is on an omega as always. And GG's to Gala.
Yeah, GG's
GG's.
Gala.
We will be getting see if they want to join shortly.
This
Actually,
was a
yeah.
very good race
Yeah.
for the first weekly.
Yeah, I think so. It's very fun to see Aim Tour live, exposed to a lot of people, you know.
Yeah. It's as Jeff said, I can very well remember my first time being restreamed on Speed Gaming and my nerves were just blank. I really just had no nerves whatsoever.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Props to
It's
you, my
like
man.
it's like I know I'm getting a restream, there is a bunch of people watching, and I'm
Yeah.
racing in a tournament setting against one of my best friends, so it was not the best time for me. But it's a lot of it's a lot of fun,
It's a
and
lot of
I
fun.
very
Yeah.
much love it. Hello, Gala. GG.
Hi.
Hello, Gala. GG's. It was so
Thanks.
fun.
Ah, that super missile launcher.
Yeah, I was so scared because I skip Super's launcher Vania.
Mhm.
I took the bet that wasn't there, but yeah, that super launcher was a pain to find.
Yeah, especially since
Oh.
we were talking that screw attack came up early, so there was really nothing with the soft lock preventions, really nothing blocking either of you from going to the gravity area early. So it's
know.
amazing that it came up so late. But
It's
it
why
seems like
it's terrible.
yeah, it seems like that was a common thing across the board as we look at everyone sort of finishing within the same time frame. It looks
Yeah.
like
Yeah, it's like Glitzy finished
it-
suddenly, Abyss, suddenly Druid, suddenly Gala. Everyone comes in a row now.
Yeah. It's like 2 minutes gap as well. Just kind of funny.
This was definitely the routing divergence made this really interesting to see.
I'm very excited to watch this back.
Oh, this was a very nice one to have, especially on the restream.
yeah, first
Our
weekly's
fifth person now finished. For the first weekly, I think having a bit of curse in the seed is not all too bad.
It's fun to watch, definitely.
Yeah, Gala, since we've been talking to Glitzy for a little bit, any thoughts about your routing decisions or anything about the seed that you want to mention?
I made a mistake because I was thinking about going to breeding 3 early, and I was like, okay, but I don't have bombs. But I forgot that we can just power bomb the area and go with a speed booster. So
Yeah, we did see you trying to farm some power bombs, but
yeah,
since
it
you
was
got bombs, yeah.
horrible. But I think I got a pretty good routing. I was scared that super launcher was on like an omega or a zeta somewhere,
Yeah, so a thing to note about the logic is that with the beginner settings, Super Launcher is required for all the Zetas and Omegas, so it will never be there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, one thing I still really enjoyed was basically, I was sitting there, okay, we gotta have progression on Ceres, I gent the seed. And of course, there's Wavebeam sitting there and saying hello. This was really nice to see. Hello, Melvin. GG. I don't think the seat was so bad.
GG's, man.
GG.
The seat
It's
was. Why is everyone saying the seat is bad? You had access to Super Missile Launcher so early.
I actually find it very interesting because, especially with the way I routed, it's like, yes, Super Missile was like, oh, I could have gotten it a lot earlier, but overall, I think the seed was pretty okay. Like, it was kind of unique, if you know what I mean. Like, it's not
Mhm.
entirely bad. But yeah, I guess, like, with everyone being at different, uh, you know, everyone thinking in different ways, so maybe the way they routed it, um, can make the seed a lot not fun, I guess.
One another thing I wanted to bring up with Gala is the lack of beams for that queen fight, making it a little closer. You did find Spazer in lower
Yeah.
A2, but you didn't have any bombs to get it at the time. And then Wave, of course, being on Ceres, you also didn't pick that up. No sense in fighting that. It looks like you were comfortable enough with the fight to go at it with no beams, and especially no plasma. But were you feeling any pressure as your health started to get down there?
And I got a lot of ammo, so Queen gets stronger. But I thought that I was about to finish the phase 1, so I was going more brutal, take damage, but yeah.
Yeah, I have to say both players had a lot of ammo. In comparison to usually, where you just have like 50, 60 missiles. Gala finishing with 125 and Glitzy finishing with 150 was a bit rough.
Yeah, scaling queen health can get you. It's not the worst thing, and especially, I mean, having those extra missiles can help for when you've actually got to clean up the Metroids without supers. And at least we knew that supers were required from the mine's DNA.
Yeah.
It's like you knew you were going to need to get that.
Yeah.
But of course, iGenocide, it has required mines. Always has been.
Yeah, hints
It's
are really
funny because
important.
so it's funny because I practiced a few seeds, beforehand. Never once was I required to directly have super missiles, and then and then Jay generated the seed, and here we are.
Yep, it's always. I think my seeds have a standard procedure of mines must be required.
Yeah, and Ice was at Industrial Complex, and I was like, okay, if Ice is at the check that requires supers, it's a big no.
Yeah, so that was something that really made the routing divergence because Glitzy did a speed booster conservation to get into Industrial Complex earlier. So Glitzy got already rewarded with a lot of stuff very early on. Glitzy had Ice Beam a lot earlier. And a lot of checks were already done in A3, which means less checks to later come back to if needed.
Mhm.
So that really turned out in the favor.
I have to learn that Industrial Complex speed keep, because I tried without knowing it, but I have to learn it.
Yeah, you were close, but yeah, unfortunately, just put you in another direction. But you did find power bombs a lot sooner, so at least you weren't held out of all the bomb checks for not too long.
Yeah. That was, of course, also required Alpha Squad. because the game loves me. But it was pretty rough because Gala got the visual peak on the Spacer, but because of the lacking amount of bombs, we had no access to it.
Huh.
And screw
Where
attack
was
early
bombs
is,
again?
Bombs was in the first check in Industrial.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
okay.
exterior, in the west
Yeah.
Oh,
side,
right.
in the sand
Yeah.
pit.
But I have to say, we got early screw, we got early speed, we got semi-early bomb and power bomb location. This seed could have been a lot worse. Because we had a
Yeah.
lot opened.
early screw
Yeah, and
is a big yes and big no for me.
yeah. I
oh,
see what.
that's how I feel about screw attack as well.
Yeah, that's how everyone feels about screw attack because it just opens up way too much. At the same time, it's so good to have, but just oh no, oh wait, no. It's always the screw attack that gets people.
Mm-hmm.
All right, with that, I'll just go through one more time. Is there any final comments before we close things out?
No. Besides GG's to all runners.
Yeah, GG's.
That was fun.
GG's. Thank you, Jay, for co-hosting with me. Give
Absolutely.
our runners a follow. You can see their channels in chat. Check us out on Discord. We've got the Discord link there and the weekly schedule. It'll be every Saturday as we keep going forwards. And with that, we will see you next mission. Thanks for joining.